While wins and losses might not mean the most to Mick Cronin, you know us Bruin fans are happy because UCLA men's hoops 2-0 in Spain. They take down Valencia Basket. Let's talk about it on this breaking news edition of Locked On UCLA.
You are Locked On UCLA, your daily podcast on the UCLA Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome, everybody. It's Zach Anderson-Yoxsimer, host of the Locked On UCLA podcast. Maybe not breaking news, more reactionary, as the Bruins take down Valencia Basket, or by their official name, I will butcher this, Basket. That was my chance. Whatever it is, the Bruins win 85-66 in a game that saw UCLA pull away. And again, who was the leading scorer? Actually, not Sebastian Mack this time. It was Lazar Stefanovic, who came through, put in 23 points, and is pretty much putting the clamps down on a starting spot in the starting five for UCLA as the transfer from Utah, a guy who's expected to shoot the three ball well, coming over with well over, I think, 35% from three. I could be off on that off the top of my head. 23 points to pace the Bruins in a game that was close, within 6 points near the half. Just about, I think, 15 minutes left to go in the game, because these games are played by FIBA rules with the FIBA basketball, and they're played by FIBA timing rules. So it's 4 quarters of 10 minutes. And if you look at the box score posted on UCLA's website, they have it by 5-minute intervals. So the Bruins were up by 3 after a quarter. They were up by 4 with just about 15 minutes left to play, and eventually pulled away. All of a sudden, it was 51-47, if I'm reading this box score correctly. And then they won 85-66. So they went on a big time run of 19? Can I do math? Whatever it is. They dominated and find themselves in a game that was semi-close, running away. And what Mick Cronin had to say about this was, I thought today was more like a real game. As we played Valencia Basket's junior team, their second team, they've got a lot of good young players who have played with Adayamar on the Spanish national team. Jan Vide knew a lot of their players. They're very well coached. The game was excellent for us. And we showed a lot of progress from game 1 to game 2. That's what you're looking for. Now, obviously, we aren't practicing between games. We are sightseeing, but there was a lot of progress. I thought our guys looked a lot more comfortable playing together. This is going to be the big thing for us all season, to adjust, learn, get more comfortable together, learn how to win together. There were a lot of positives. So that is what Mick Cronin will probably be saying from the early parts of the season before he expects his players to get things. Remember, you're missing Berkia, you're missing Mara, and you're missing Bona. So 3 significant pieces for this team, and the Bruins are 2-0. Overall, it was a game that, it was tied at 47 at one point. It was back and forth, and UCLA ends up winning this by 29. That's a good way to close games. For a young team with 7 freshmen, 8 newcomers, 4 international players, only a few guys. Even the sophomores haven't received too much playing time, right? Like Andrews and McClendon coming into this season. This is a big growth time where UCLA found a way to say, hey, let's get this job done and win this one in dominant fashion. And how do we close games during the season? You practice this in the offseason. You build those characteristics in certain games like this. So the rest of the scoring went as follows. UCLA had Stefanovic play 36 and a half minutes. I didn't realize Cronin was already going to be burning these guys this many minutes to start the season in an exhibition game and a trip here in late August. But here he is, Stefanovic, burning 36 minutes, 44% from the field, 23 points. Again, he led the team in steals. He had 3 steals. He had 5 rebounds. Not like the double-double effort he put in game 1 against the Madrid All-Stars, but still 23 points, 2 of 7 from downtown. So the first 2 games as a Bruin, he's 2 of 11 from 3, I believe, if I've got the math correct. And UCLA hasn't gotten that knockdown 3-point shooter like Stefanovic to get him going, right? We're very spoiled last year watching Singleton make almost everything in sight from anywhere on the court, from any way possible. Stefanovic is scoring, taking more of that bulk today, and found himself to get the job done 7 for 7 at the free throw line. Again, Sebastian Mack. John Rothstein put it up there, talked about against the likes of, I keep forgetting their name, the Madrid All-Stars, because that's a common name off the tongue. You have the likes of Mack, who played almost 29 minutes. he puts up 17 points. Again, he was the leading scorer in game one. And what Mick Cronin thinks is more of a game, more of a competitive battle in this one, UCLA had the likes of Mac put up 17 points. And UCLA was like, hey, wow, this guy is scoring. Mick Cronin said we need this guy scoring, and here he is scoring at will. The only problem was the efficiency of it. 6 of 20 from the floor. That's freshman level efficiency when you give someone the bulk of the ball that much time, the bulk of the shots. And he was 0 for 7 from downtown. So that's a little worrisome for now for Mac, that he's missing the three and all that. But we'll see how that plays out, developing over into the season. And, we'll see how it goes. Another big day, Kenneth Nuba. Mick Cronin talked about he wanted everybody to play. I'm not sure how Stefanovic's 36 minutes are an indicator. Gave Devin Williams a good bulk of the minutes, or got a lot of production out of him in game one. In game two, it was Nuba, the super senior, the captain, 15 points, drew 8 fouls, and had 5 rebounds in 26 minutes on 6 of 7 shooting. Now, without 3 players that could play in the post between Bona, Burke, and Mara, if Nuba is going to be asked to be playing 26 minutes, we know he can. He did that rather serviceably in a pretty terrible spot against Gonzaga, where you're asked to have him play a lot of minutes against Drew Timme and the Bulldogs and the Zags in the Sweet 16 earlier in 2023. He comes through, puts in a lot of minutes, had good efficiency numbers, and that was important for UCLA, who continued to struggle from 3, 5 of 19, after, I believe, a 2 of 18 performance. So the Bruins haven't shown the ability to hit the 3. I know Burke is supposed to be able to hit the 3 a little bit, yet they haven't shown the true ability to do that. Vide had 22 minutes on the floor. He had 8 points. UCLA was able to do just enough offensively, shooting overall, if I can read the percentage, 44% from the floor. The biggest thing is, what were the turnover numbers? Mick Cronin thrives on this. 22 turnovers forced, 17 steals. I think the hustle ball, and I'm not sure who it goes to, probably Stefanovic. They didn't really give one. 42 deflections, including 28 second-half deflections, leading to 28 points off turnovers, those turnovers from the likes of Valencia Basket. Overall, UCLA, with the FIBA rules, the quarters, they're getting the job done. Dylan Andrews had 10 points. Fible had 10 points. But the stories, again, Stefanovic being a big scorer in a game they needed it. They had Mac again putting up 17 points where they needed him to do so. Still not the most efficient. And Andrews still looking to get maybe the assist numbers up. I'm not sure how the game goes because we don't get the benefit of true highlights or true streams. At least I didn't find the illegal stream that you guys probably might have found back at home. In the end, UCLA's 2-0. They're struggling from 3. They did miss 10 free throws, but they're deflecting the ball like they do in a game that got close where they trailed in the second half. They pulled away and got the job done. That's all you want for a team that's growing. Mick Cronin, a team that's not even practicing. They're not even practicing. They're going, think of your dream Spain trip, right? They're going and enjoying that and going on a casual Tuesday and Thursday, playing some basketball, having some fun, and these guys are earning minutes without Mick Cronin's practices, right? We know how intense that can be, him telling and teaching his team. Maybe he's got a little more patience early on in this season. He's going to need it, especially with the team that's building and growing and still missing some key pieces in the Spain trip. Their next game isn't until August 29th. They do play Girona, if I've got the name right. There are some rumors of Marcus Saul being on the roster. Maybe he's not on the roster. Who knows? That could be an interesting one on August 29th, but they played the second team, Valencia Basket's junior team, and got the win 85-66, just based on reading the notes from UCLA's website. Bruins got the job done. It was a very competitive game and a 19-point win. I might have said 29-point win. I don't know why I said 29-point win. 19-point win because I can't read or do math, but a game that the Bruins had to pull away from, earn the win, and win by 19. So here we are, Bruins 2-0. Can't wait for the rest of the trip. Can't wait to analyze who's earning minutes. And again, any final minutes, everybody played, but Manjikian, you had Andrews playing 26 minutes. Even McClendon played 15 and a half. Brandon Williams played nearly 9 minutes. Fible played 20 and a half minutes. Stefanovic, 37 minutes, basically. Mac, 29. Nuba, 28. Cremonesi, a minute. Devin Williams had almost 14 minutes. Vide with 22 minutes. And Seidler played a minute. And it looked like, actually, that you had Vide starting. I know Cronin's going to rotate things. This might not be, and probably will not be easily, obviously, the starting five. But the backcourt, interesting starting five he decided to roll out there with Andrews, I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, coming off the bench. Those are all fun things and tidbits to analyze. This is just kind of stream of thoughts. I'll gather those and talk them more in a more concise manner in the next episode of Locked On UCLA. The Bruins 2-0, 85-66. They win it. They close things out, outscoring Valencia Basket by a good 23-8, I think is what the story said. In a game that was tied, it was close late in the second half, and the Bruins got the job done in a hotly contested game in Spain. So the Bruins, let's roll it. Go Bruins. Stefanovic, getting the job done. In the meantime, this episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs, because if you haven't believed me yet that you need to go get Bird Dogs, they make you look good. First off, I wear them all the time. I was at the game the other day where Shohei Ohtani apparently blew out his UCL, but I was looking good wearing my Bird Dogs. Ohtani hit a 500-foot moonshot, and while the Babe Ruth of baseball, the Ohtani of baseball was hidden doing crazy things, and his arm got hurt. We hope he's okay. I was looking good in my Bird Dogs, looking cool with my buddy. I was making sure they felt good in the heat. I wasn't sweating. They have anti-stink sweat and anti-sticking fabric. So they didn't stick. They felt good. I was nice and cool. All you have to do is go to birddogs.com/lockedoncollege or enter the promo code LockedOnCollege for free. Get a white tech hat with your order. It's pretty cool. birddogs.com/lockedoncollege with the promo code LockedOnCollege for a free white tech hat. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. We promise you. In the meantime, that's going to do it for Locked On UCLA, this semi-reaction version to UCLA's win against Valencia Basket, 85-66. I'll talk more about it and get more thoughts deeper into the rest of the week. College football's around the corner. Other team, the women's team is out in Senegal, or they're somewhere in Africa. Everybody's doing something right now. That's why you should subscribe and support the Locked On UCLA podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, listen. Thanks for your support. Hands up, Bruins fans. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA. UCLA fight, fight, fight. This has been Locked On UCLA. Go Bruins.